Welcome back to Stoic Daily X, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. I'm your guide through the timeless principles of Stoicism, helping you build resilience in today's chaotic world. Today, we're exploring one of the most powerful Stoic practices, negative visualization, or what the ancient Romans called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This technique might sound counterintuitive at first. After all, who wants to imagine bad things happening? But by the end of this video, you'll understand why contemplating what could go wrong might be the secret to experiencing profound gratitude and happiness. Imagine this: you're rushing to work, spill coffee on your shirt, hit every red light, and arrive late to a meeting. Your day feels ruined. But what if, instead of being frustrated, you paused and considered how much worse it could be? What if you didn't have a job to go to? What if you didn't have transportation? What if you didn't have your health to even make it to work? Negative visualization isn't about pessimism. It's about perspective. By temporarily contemplating the absence of the good things in our lives, we can break free from hedonic adaptation, our mind's tendency to take things for granted once we become accustomed to them. Seneca, one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, advised, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" By voluntarily imagining losing what we value, we train ourselves to appreciate what we already have. Think about your smartphone. When you first got it, you were likely excited about all its features. But how quickly did that excitement fade? Now imagine it suddenly disappearing. No communication, no GPS, no photos, no instant access to information. Feels different, doesn't it? I challenge you to try this practice right now. Take a moment to consider what your life would be like without something you typically take for granted, perhaps your vision, your home, or a loved one. Feel that twinge of loss. Now open your eyes to the reality that you still have this blessing, that feeling. That's gratitude emerging from negative visualization. Subscribe to Stoic Daily X for daily wisdom that transforms your life. Just 1 minute of ancient wisdom each day can change everything. Hit that subscribe button now. Negative visualization wasn't just a casual suggestion from the Stoics, it was a cornerstone practice. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, perhaps the most powerful man of his time, wrote to himself, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness.'" Was he a pessimist? Quite the opposite. He understood that by preparing for difficulties, he could face them with equanimity when they arrived, and experience joy when they didn't. What makes this practice so fascinating is how it counters our natural human tendency. We usually believe that acquiring more will make us happier: a bigger house, a better car, a higher salary. Yet research consistently shows that after basic needs are met, more possessions rarely lead to lasting happiness. The hedonic treadmill keeps us running without ever reaching satisfaction. Stoics recognized this trap thousands of years before modern psychology gave it a name. Epictetus, who began life as a slave and became one of history's greatest philosophers, taught, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Consider how this applies to your relationships. Do you sometimes take your friends or family for granted? Many of us do. Now imagine having never met your best friend, or never having known a family member you cherish. Visualize a life where their path never crossed yours. Feel the absence of all those memories, all that support, all that love. This exercise doesn't make you morbid, it makes you present to the extraordinary gift of their existence in your life. I witnessed this principle at work after my neighbor experienced a brief health scare. Before the incident, she complained constantly about minor inconveniences: traffic, weather, slow internet. After recovering, she told me, "I never realized how beautiful ordinary days are until I feared I might lose them." 6 months later, she still appreciates what most people overlook: This is why negative visualization isn't just an abstract philosophical concept. It's a practical tool for modern happiness. By imagining the absence of good, we create space for gratitude to flourish. Stay with me as we explore how to practice this technique in daily life. And if you're finding value, subscribe to Stoic Daily X for daily wisdom that strengthens your mind like exercise strengthens your body. Let's turn this ancient wisdom into practical action. How can you incorporate negative visualization into your daily routine without becoming genuinely negative or anxious? Here are some structured approaches. First, try the morning contemplation. Upon waking, take 2 minutes to consider 3 things you value that might not be permanent, perhaps your health, your home, or your job. Imagine briefly what life would be like without them. Then, open your eyes to the reality that you still have these blessings. This creates a framework of gratitude for your entire day. Next, practice what I call gratitude triggers. Throughout your day, when you use something you typically take for granted, turning on a faucet for clean water, opening your refrigerator full of food, or starting your car, pause for 3 seconds and think, "This might not always be here. How fortunate I am to have it now." One subscriber, Michael from Boston, shared how this changed his relationship with his teenage daughter. After years of frustration over typical teenage behavior, he began a daily practice of imagining what life would be like after she left for college. He told me, "Those imaginary goodbyes made me appreciate our actual hellos. Even our disagreements became precious because they meant she was still here, still engaging with me." Another powerful application comes in dealing with modern inconveniences. Stuck in traffic, instead of frustration, try thinking, "I have somewhere meaningful to go, transportation to get there, and the health to make the journey." Many would consider this a privilege. This doesn't mean you can't work to improve difficult situations, but it transforms your experience while you're in them. Remember that time when your internet went down during an important video call. The frustration you felt was real. But what if you had prepared your mind by occasionally imagining working without modern technology? You might have pivoted more easily, maybe even smiled at the opportunity to practice resilience. The Stoics weren't suggesting we become preoccupied with worst-case scenarios. Rather, they were offering a tool to break the spell of entitlement and expectation that robs us of joy. As Epictetus said, "He is a man of sense who does not grieve for what he has not, but rejoices in what he has." What's one thing you've been taking for granted that you could appreciate more deeply through negative visualization? Perhaps your ability to hear this voice right now, or the luxury of time to learn and grow through videos like this. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Isn't this practice depressing? Won't focusing on potential losses make me anxious? This is a common misconception, but research suggests quite the opposite. Studies in positive psychology have found that brief contemplation of loss actually increases happiness rather than diminishing it. The key lies in the temporary nature of the visualization. We're not dwelling on potential losses, we're using them as contrast to heighten our appreciation. Think of it like adjusting the contrast on a photograph. The darker areas don't make the image depressing. They make the bright areas stand out more vividly. Let me address another challenge: the fear that appreciating what we have might reduce our motivation to improve our circumstances. Some worry that contentment leads to complacency. But the Stoics distinguished between external circumstances and internal virtues. They taught that while we should appreciate what we have, we should always strive to develop our character, wisdom, and courage. Consider Sarah, a Stoic Daily X viewer who used negative visualization while working at a job she disliked. "I started appreciating having employment at all," she told me, "which reduced my daily stress. But I still worked toward a better position because growth is part of living virtuously." 6 months later, she had both a new job and a renewed appreciation for work itself. Some people struggle with timing. When should you practice negative visualization? Certainly not during a crisis when your focus should be on solution finding. Instead, practice during moments of stability. Just as you wouldn't begin physical training during illness, don't begin mental training during emotional turmoil. Another roadblock is forgetting to practice. One effective strategy is to link negative visualization to existing habits. One subscriber attached small colored dots to items he frequently used, his car keys, computer, coffee mug, as reminders to practice gratitude through contrast. "Those little dots changed everything," he said. "They're like gratitude triggers throughout my day." Remember that negative visualization isn't about manufacturing anxiety. It's about manufacturing perspective. If you find yourself genuinely upset rather than grateful after the practice, you might be dwelling too long on the negative scenario. Keep the contemplation brief, just long enough to feel the contrast when you return to reality. As Seneca advised, we should love all of our dear ones, but always with the thought that we have no promise that we may keep them forever, nay, no promise even that we may keep them for long. The most profound aspect of negative visualization is how it transforms not just moments of gratitude, but your entire relationship with impermanence. Most human suffering comes not from pain itself, but from our resistance to life's changing nature. When we practice seeing potential losses clearly, we develop what the Stoics called the view from above, a broader perspective that transcends our immediate attachments. I received a message from Alina, who began practicing negative visualization after watching our channel. She wrote, "After 20 years of marriage, I started imagining life without my husband, not morbidly but appreciatively. Last month, when he was hospitalized unexpectedly, I was certainly concerned, but I also felt strangely prepared. I had already considered his mortality, so instead of being paralyzed by fear, I was present with gratitude for each moment we still had together." This is the deeper wisdom of negative visualization. It prepares us not just to appreciate what we have, but to face reality's inevitable changes with dignity and poise. Seneca said it perfectly. All that comes to us by chance can be taken away, but virtue is acquired once and for all, and shall never be canceled. Think about how this practice might reshape your approach to daily irritations. That coworker who tests your patience. Imagine the workplace without them. That aging parent who requires extra care. Contemplate a world where you no longer have the opportunity to help them. These mental exercises don't eliminate challenges, they recontextualize them. Tomorrow on Stoic Daily X, we'll explore the complementary practice of voluntary discomfort, strengthening your resilience. While negative visualization exercises the mind, voluntary discomfort trains both mind and body to embrace challenge rather than avoid it. Together, these practices form a powerful foundation for Stoic resilience. Let's conclude with a reflection from Marcus Aurelius. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. The Stoics knew that our time here is limited. Negative visualization doesn't make us morbid, it makes us alive to the miracle of ordinary moments. Subscribe to Stoic Daily X if you haven't already. Just one click ensures you never miss these daily doses of ancient wisdom that can transform your modern life. Join our community of modern Stoics growing stronger through timeless principles. Until tomorrow, remember that appreciating what you have isn't just gratitude, it's wisdom.